Okay guys, today we're going to review the Torus T5500 Pro Slow Juicer. I've been using this now for about 3 weeks. Now it comes with a large mouth hopper, great for whole apples or oranges, lemons, etc. I get a small mouth attachment. One issue that I have is you get a small screen filter that suits both hoppers. You also get a large mesh filter which only fits the small hopper, and you get a blank filter for making your nut juices, soy milk, almond milk, that sort of thing. That only fits in the large hopper. You get a box for making tofu and some spare parts that attach to both hoppers. The juicer works pretty well. As you can see, I've just made a green juice. I'll throw a video up shortly about that. But for now, we'll go through some harder juices. I'm going to make a juice now so you can see it in operation. Basic juice with carrot, some beetroot and an orange, so you can see how the whole thing works. It's fairly quiet compared to a centrifugal juicer. So we turn it on at the back here. As you can see, it's not too loud. You can still carry on a conversation. We start adding our juices. I've already got everything washed and prepared. So we start throwing in our juices, our ingredients. Don't put them in too fast because they will clog it up. It does have a reverse function. If it does clog up, you can reverse it a little bit. The pulp that comes out is nice and dry, so you are getting a lot of the juice out. As you can see, beetroot, carrot really has no trouble getting through that at this point. Although if we try and throw in too much hard vegetables at a time, it will stop. Now the juicer can hold up to 500 mils inside here. So if you're making a single serve of juice, that's handy. You can mix everything all within the juicer. Carrot and beetroot isn't too bad. Now if we let that flow through, let some out, you'll see in here it's got a second strainer. We'll just turn that off for a second. I usually use a spoon here just to try and scrape some of the pulp to the side. Let more juice flow through. It does come with a nut milk bag, which if you were getting really fussy, I guess, you could put this pulp into the nut bag and squeeze maximum juice out of it. You do get more juice from a slow juicer than a centrifugal juicer. But as you can see, there's not much that I can get more out of that in this method. I could quite easily put that into the nut bag and get maybe another 50 mils out of that. So that's not too bad. And then we'll put through, I'll show you the large hopper now if there's room. So we'll turn that back on. We can take a full orange, throw that into the hopper, that will go through, close that up again, and that will juice quite well. You can see the juice coming out quite nicely, the pulp coming out quite nicely. One thing, any of the stringy vegetables, celery, even kale and spinach will tend to clog up a little bit in here. Although I've found if I do a leafy vegetable or something with a lot of string in it, if I follow it up with some carrot and beetroot and things like that, it will push that through. So it doesn't completely block it, but you do have to keep an eye on it. So if we just keep on throwing in the beetroot into there, we should see that come out shortly. Okay, so that's the auto reverse function, as you may have heard. It blocked up there because I tried to throw in 3 carrots, one after the other. So all you do is, if we have a look in here, you can see when I hit reverse. Reverse is a momentary switch, so I won't stay in reverse. But when I put it in reverse, you can see it pushing everything back up in the chute, and then you can just put it back to 4s and it'll push everything down slower. And with any luck, it won't get blocked this time. It appears to have gone all through. You do get a short and a long thing where you can, the long one, obviously to the long chute, and the shorter one to fit the shorter hopper. So that will clear all that out. As you can see, my pulp container is now full. I have had to empty part of that into a 1 litre container. As you can see, I've got another 500 mils there. So that's going to give me about 1 litre of juice. So if I let that out now, I'll let that flow through just a little bit. We'll let the last of that out. Turn that off. Let that last little bit of juice come out. Close that up. Okay, we'll do another clean of the final stage screen. We'll just throw the excess into there with the rest of the pulp. And we'll pour that in with the rest. And there we have 1 litre. 1 litre of carrot, orange and beetroot juice from there. Now I use these pouches to store. I find them quite useful. They hold up to 500 mils. So if I throw 500 mils into here, mils. Simple Ziploc bag. We open the top, open the bottom just a little bit, pour that in. Seal that up. And that's ready to freeze or refrigerate and take as you go. They're quite sturdy, they won't leak. Very useful to take out on the go to work, whatever. So the Torus Pro T5000 cleaner, very simple. I like the slow juices because they are easier to clean up. Twist the top off, take that out. Not a lot of pulp in there. A little bit in around the screw, so we'll just rinse that out. Simple rinse out. That hopper lid is just a simple switch. Flick that over and that flips up, and you can see just there, if you flick the switch over, all it does is just blocks up that hole, which stops that from coming through. Push that down past, close it off, and we've got our hopper closed. Nice simple design, easy. Then we can take the screw out. It comes out without too much difficulty. Give that a quick rinse. There's our screw nice and clean. and then the rest just lifts straight off. That comes out. It's got a self-cleaning mechanism to it. So if we rinse that out, I'll show you that. You've got these little plastic rubber type fins here. The outside here, scrape around the inside of the main container there. And on the inside, you'll see two little tabs, and they scrape along the mesh. Now you can see as that scrapes around, you can see even not in there that it is taking some away. So it's quite effective, and that simply slips off like that for cleaning. And we clean out the mesh. They do supply a brush for cleaning, which has a handy two-way thing at the other end, which comes in handy for things like if your little hole there gets blocked up, that's where your dry pulp comes out. You can use that to push that out. The brush itself, run that under water, give it a decent scrub, and as you can see, that'll come up fairly clean. So I'll get this done and then I'll show you the last part. Okay, so we've got that clean. The main part is fairly simple. We'll open the outlet, just give it a bit of a rinse. Now as you can see, the pulp's not coming out. Now underneath you have a little tab here, pull that out. There is replacements for those, and there's most of the pulp gone. Once again, with your stringy vegetables such as celery, kale, spinach, that sort of thing, that can take a little bit longer because as you can see, that is a very small hole at the bottom there, and that does get clogged. Once that's in, that actually covers that hole, so it has to be forced through it. So yeah, sometimes that gets a bit blocked up. That's probably one of my few dislikes for this juicer. All in all, I'm quite happy with it. It does its job quite well. It's reasonably quiet. It's easy to clean up. The mesh on this second screen is quite sturdy. I did have a slow juicer before. I don't remember the brand, but it was very similar setup, but the screen filter was like wire fly screen. It was very flimsy, and always felt, if I did the same thing with the spoon, it always felt like you were going to push through it. This is quite solid, quite sturdy, and I mean you get 800 mils for the holding cup. You know, so I generally make up about 1 litre or so of juice at a time in batches. So that's why I have to use a second container to mix the final juices in. But it's very easy to clean, nice, and after a full juice, after several uses, I'll give that a good wash out, and we're ready to go again. So that's basically it. T5000 Pro slow juicer. So thanks for watching, and juice on.